What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all having a great day. And if you're new to the channel and hit the subscribe button, that'd be awesome. Today we got Ben again. Today we will be lowering the GTS a little bit, maybe a little bit in the rear, but definitely a significant amount up front, and then we will test for clearance and then potentially be test fitting my work Rezacs. Also, it came in the mail today. One of the parts that I told you guys I ordered, one of 3, is the Berks Technology High Flow Cat 3-inch. So this is gonna make the RB scream even louder. Just waiting on my Apexi air intake kit and my ISR downpipe. So the remaining parts should hopefully come in either early this week or the end of this week, or maybe the beginning of next week. But I'm gonna wait to install this until I get all my exhaust parts. Also just figured out that the Tomy Extreme TI catback fits the HCR sedans, so I think I'm gonna go that route. I've always wanted a Tomy in my life. Unfortunately, they don't make them for the Preludes, so definitely going to be purchasing it for the Skyline here. Originally, I wanted to run just like a standard 3-inch custom, and then for the exhaust tip I wanted to do blast pipe. Honestly, that's still for consideration to me, but really feeling the Tomy now that I know that it works on the sedans. But I think the blast pipes would be more aggressive. Ben also got a polarizer.
Yes, sir.
Got a polarizer for the camera, so we'll be shooting the S2000 and probably the Skyline again to test it out. So we're gonna go ahead and see if these lug nuts here are still 19 millimeters and start adjusting and inspecting the front suspension. All right, so I got the front pair knocked loose. For whatever reason, these were like hella loose, but the right side was just incredibly torqued down. I almost pulled the muscle. All right, so got the wheel off, inspected the tire. It's actually pretty good. Should probably get a new one just in case it does have some, I don't want to call that like really dry rotting, but little cracks in the rubber there. But also inspect the rotor, a little bit of rust, nothing crazy. Again, still gonna swap this out. Brake pads look like they have plenty of life in it. Brake lines look good, but guess what, guys? We already have an adjustable front upper control arm with plenty of thread to go into the negatives, which is super sick. And here's a better look at the KTS coilovers. I think in another vlog, I'll just go ahead and take these out and give them a good deep clean, lube up the threads. But this is sick, guys. This is good news. So what I'm gonna do is raise the coilover about, I don't know, like an inch or so, 25 millimeters. Well, now that I know that I got the front upper control arm, I might just go ahead and take off the Rezac and swap them out. So I don't want to do a significant drop, so I'm going to start out with about about a quarter of an inch. That should be a good enough drop. We'll throw the Rezac on after I get the Prelude all nice and warmed up, and we will adjust from there. And then from there, we'll go ahead and try to adjust this upper front control arm. So Ben and I are gonna use that polarizing filter while we have the sunset coming in, like the last vlog, Deja Vu. So I was gonna put a hold on this right now, but we will finish after the shoot. When we get back, I'm gonna go ahead and take the front pair of Rezacs off the Prelude, fit them on, see where it sits, and then adjust the camber accordingly. I probably won't be driving the Skyline as much until I get in alignment. And the rear, we'll see what we can do with that. We're back home. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the cinematics of the S2000. Let's continue where we picked off. All right, everybody, I got some good news and I got some bad news. The good news is these would actually look super clean on the Skyline, the Rezacs. Bad news is these are a super low disc, so the caliper here on the HCR 32 Type M are pretty big, so I'd have to run at least a high disc to clear. You're probably thinking just run an adapter, but I really don't want to run an adapter because then that's gonna destroy the life of my wheel bearing. Damn, but I got about a little more than an inch of clearance in the back, which I would have to run if I did want to run the adapter. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and leave the camber alone. I will definitely be getting an alignment sometime next week, so I'll have them adjust the camber to like -4 or 5. I'll definitely have to measure the inner barrel of the R33 wheels to make sure they don't hit this, if you want to call it a spindle here. But I went ahead and readjusted the coilovers again and went another 1/4 inch lower. All right, got the wheels back on and torqued down. A little bit lower. We'll see what it looks like when it's on the ground. It's the next day. My apologies, my Camry battery died. I definitely need to invest in more batteries. But last night I took the Skyline out on the freeway and the GTST RB20 seriously exceeds my expectations. Even for the 4-door, it performs so well. Suspension is great. The engineering and design of the car is almost flawless. I'm just so content with my investment of the Skyline. I honestly don't even want to modify it because how the Skyline sits right now is perfect, and I'm afraid that if I put aftermarket suspension parts on it or even go more low or change my wheel and tire setup, definitely not going to feel the same. It might be better, it definitely will be better, but as of how the car sits right now, it's perfect for me. But let me go ahead and show you the front drop. So Ben and I dropped the front about 1.25 inches last night, a significant difference. It was making a weird noise. I thought it was my wheel bearing, but it was just dirt from after it rained. Probably got stuck in like the rotor or caliper or something, but honestly, a pretty good drop. Not too bad. Seriously bummed that I can't fit my work Rezacs up front because, again, the face of the wheel is a low disc, and with disc, that really determines the clearance for your caliper. Low disc, you can run bigger lips. With high disc, you're providing, I want to say, less offset for clearance, so you can't run crazy lips. But I can run as much camber as I need to if I want to run a like medium disc to accommodate. I'm definitely going to get these refinished and repainted next year. As you can see, he's got some gnarly curb rash, and I'm definitely going to go with a Diamond Pearl White. That's going to be my theme for all my cars. It's pretty cool how Ben and I discovered that the Skyline already has front upper adjustable control arms. That saves me like $300 out of my pocket, thank God. I'm going to be inspecting the rear today too to see if there's any other aftermarket goodies. Also this weekend, my buddy Nick is selling a HICAS lock bar, which I will be picking up to prep for when I delete the HICAS system. My HICAS light keeps coming on and off, so I did all my research and they said it's best just to delete the HICAS system since the technology is about 30 years old now. So I'm stoked about that. And later with this build, Nate and I will be deleting the old HICAS system, and I'll be showing you all videos on how to do that, which will clear up more space in the engine bay and making it cleaner as well. So I'm incredibly stoked, and thank you, Nate, so much for taking your time out of your day to help me with this build. I truly appreciate it. Well, that's going to conclude this portion of the vlog. Thank you so much, everybody who made it to the end. And again, thank you everyone for your continuous love and support. It really does mean the world to me. So much content coming to this channel, and honestly, so much that I personally need to do between both the Preludes and the Skyline. It's almost overwhelming, but I definitely need to start pulling the transmission out of the red Prelude and post that shell for sale. So if you are local, Phoenix area, Tucson, and are interested in a legit project car, the red Prelude will be for sale immediately after I purchase, or after I pull the transmission and everything else I need from the car. I will be throwing in my automatic transmission and ECU into the red Prelude. I won't be installing it though, so if you're local, bring a trailer. I will sell it like dirt cheap. You just let me know it's time that I get out of my neighborhood, because I think my HOA is finally catching on to me and I don't want to cause any problems while I'm here. But thank you everybody again for your love and support, and if you're new to the channel and on the subscribe button, that'd be awesome. And remember, aim high, drive low. We'll see you next video. Take care.